Hi guys, welcome back to the Spurred On podcast. We're approaching the kind of halfway mark of the season. In fact, just over it in terms of Premier League games played. So what I thought I'd do is an entire kind of Ange Ball future in terms of which players within the Tottenham Hotspur squad are going to remain as a part of the Ange Ball revolution in the medium to long term, and which senior squad players I think will be moved out because they are just not fit for purpose when it comes to Ange Ball. When I was researching this and going through the players, I started by thinking this would be pretty easy. Actually, there were a number of difficult kind of out decisions, and it's really shown me how much work there is to do when it comes to building a squad that Ange will be happy with to challenge on all fronts. It was actually a far more enjoyable process than I imagined it would be going through this. So I'm really keen to know from you guys at home in the comment section, which players do you think need to be shipped out the door to make Ange's squad real challengers for not only the Champions League spaces and the European places, but also for the Premier League title and trophies? Like I said, in the medium to long term, but senior players only. So, for instance, I'm not including players like Alfie Devine and Dane Scarlett, for instance, because they are kind of young players. And actually, on the Tottenham Hotspur first team squad list on their website, they are not counted there. So, if you're wondering why they're not in this list, that is why. Before I get started, guys, thank you so much for all your support as per usual. If you're listening on the podcast platforms, be that Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, please do come over to YouTube. Come and see my face. I'm at Barnaby. I'm at youtube.com/@Barnaby Slater_. And vice versa. Thank you if you're watching on YouTube. I really appreciate it. Please do go over to wherever you listen to your podcast and give it a little subscribe or a follow. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever. It really helps. And also do become a Spurred On Pro member, be that through Patreon or YouTube's membership service. All the details are in the description box. It's only £1 a month, and extra perks, membership-only perks, are coming your way. Okay, so in terms of the long-term Ange Ball revolution, these are the players that I think are going to be in or out via their squad numbers. Starting off, number 4, Oliver Skipp. For me, he does not have a future in the Ange Ball revolution. I like Oliver Skipp as a player, very talented. Don't forget those Dutch under-21 players when they were playing the England team and there was a camera in their dressing room. They were all like, he is the most Dutch player we know. But for me, in terms of seeing Oliver Skipp under Ange Ball, and he did have a great game in the last game, I have to say, I'm just not sure he has got the pace and the power required to do it. I'd love to be proven wrong, but for now, I've got Oliver Skipp in the out section. I don't think he will last past potentially this summer. Next up, number 5, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. I doubt many of you will disagree with me. I don't think he's going to last potentially past this January, but certainly not past the summer. I don't think Ange thinks he has the required quickness on the ball, quickness pace-wise, and vision for his type of kind of 1-2 touch quick possession play. Next up, Radu Dragusin, number 6. Of course, he's got to stay. New signing, incredibly talented. Very excited to see how well he does in a Spurs shirt. Will he get a game against Man City on Friday night? Who knows? Ange did, of course, kind of, experiment with that back 3 in the last few minutes of the previous game. So who knows against Man City? Maybe he'll line up alongside Christian Romero and Mickey van der Ven. Next up, Heung-min Son, number 7. Of course he's staying. I think we give Sonny a contract till the end of his career and then have him as an ambassador or a coach, whatever he wants. He is the face of the club now that Harry Kane has left. He is a stalwart. He's been here 10 years and long may it continue. I think as his pace goes and dwindles, he's still got enough to be able to play maybe as the number 9 in future, maybe off the left but in a deeper role. Who knows? What a player, what a talent. Next up, Yves Bissouma, number 8. Absolutely. I know he's had some discipline problems this season, but he stays. He is the best number 6 we've got. He's an unbelievable talent, and I think he will improve when we get someone in at number 6 instead of Højbjerg to challenge him and play, like when we get into Europe, play some of those European games, take some weight off his shoulders. I love Bissouma. What an amazing player. Next up, number 9, Richarlison. Now, this is a controversial one. I think he stays. I don't think we're going to sign another number 9 or who can also play on the left, who is as talented and as driven as Richarlison. I love his attitude, I love his confidence, and I love how he's played since he's come back from that little operation he had. And I think for all those of you who think we can do better. I think be careful what you wish for. I think he's only going to improve. Coming into his prime as a player, and under Ange, I think he's going to do better than a lot of people think. Next up, staying in the in column for the long-term Ange Ball revolution, James Maddison. He's still in his first season. We've lost him through injury. We've missed him so badly. What a player. We're lucky to have him, and an absolute snip at 40 million. Stay at the club. Become an England regular because you're the main man at Spurs, and he can lead Ange's Tottenham Hotspur Football Club to trophies. I've got absolutely no doubt about it. Out column now, number 11, Bryan Hill. I think he'll leave this January. I think maybe we'll get kind of between £5 and £7 million for him. It hasn't quite worked out. What a talent. He may come back and bite us on the arse further down in his career because he's a good player and he has what it takes, but he's just not got the physicality for the Premier League quite yet. Number 12, Emerson Royal. For me, I'm talking about the medium to long term. I don't see him having a place in Ange Ball's squad. He is an excellent professional. He is a good defensive right back and has done well at centre half when he's played there under Ange as well. And of course he can cover left back too. That's why I don't think he'll be sold this January. However, in the long term, I think we're going to be looking to get a better replacement right back to challenge Pedro Porro, who can play in that right back berth, but also in the inverted way that Ange Postecoglu likes to have it. So that's why I think Emerson Royal in the long term may not stay, but I think he may be here even past this summer. I think it'll be a further year or so before we find someone to replace him. Number 16, on loan, Timo Werner. I have him in the out category. Now, Werner obviously hasn't had a chance to show too much for Spurs yet, but I do see this as an opportunistic signing that we made for this 6 months, and most importantly over this month of January and the early part of February while Sonny is away at the Asian Cup. I want Werner to prove me wrong. I hope he does. The fee that we would have to sell him to buy him for is very low if he does well. Look, if he can get 5 to 7 league goals and some assists too in this 6 months, then absolutely I could see us buying him, but I just don't see that happening quite yet. I've missed a few players out there, so I've missed a player out between Emerson Royal and Timo Werner there. Number 13, Guillermo Vicario. Of course he stays. The best goalkeeper we've had in a very long time. Hugo Lloris was at his best when he joined the club and he did brilliantly for us. But in terms of being a presence and an all-round goalkeeper, I love what Vicario is bringing to the squad. Next up, Christian Romero, 17, vice-captain, world-class player, perhaps one of only 2 world-class, genuinely world-class players we have. What a player. We keep him as long as we can. Sign him up to a long-term deal as far as I'm concerned. Now, number 18, Giovanni Lo Celso. I would love to say that we keep him for the long term, but for me, he just doesn't get on the pitch enough. That's the only issue. He's talented enough. His style fits Ange Ball, but he just gets injured too easily, and as a result, I'm putting him in the out section. In terms of the medium to long term, I don't think he has a place under Ange Ball because he wants players who are going to stay fit, and just over the years that he's been at Spurs, he's not played enough games. 19, Ryan Sessegnon, similar, although he hasn't shown for Spurs the talent or the belief or the self-confidence that Gio Lo Celso has even. For me, I think his time is running out at Tottenham Hotspur. All the rumours say that we are allowing him to talk to other clubs, and he's such a talent. I really hope he goes somewhere else and gets game time and shows what he can do and really starts to believe in himself, because he's got it. He's got the talent, he's got the potential, but he's just not going to do it at Spurs. 20, Fraser Forster. I'm afraid he's in the out column too. He's reaching the end of his career. And to me, although he's a good backup, as long as we don't need him, he's a bit slow to get down to kind of what I'd call instinct saves. He's good to have in the squad and clearly doesn't kick up a fuss, but in the long term, we need to find another younger keeper and somebody who is really going to push Vicario, actually. In a similar way to when we got Michel Vorm, he pushed Hugo Lloris because he was a good quality Premier League keeper at the time. He pushed Lloris, but he never took him over. We need to find someone to replace both Fraser Forster, but also 40 and 41, Brandon Austin and Alfie Whiteman, who are also on the outs for me. They're never going to get game time in the Premier League. They're goalkeepers who are back up to the backup, and they all need to go out. So going back to my in list now, 21, Decky Kulusevski has to stay, top player. Brennan Johnson. Now, I know a lot of Spurs fans are getting angry with him at the moment, but he is a raw potential talent. I've said it time and time again. He will come good. I'm so sure of it. And as our players get back from injury, he will not have to play as many minutes, and then he'll come on and we'll see some great cameo performances, if you ask me. 23, Pedro Porro, one of the players of the season so far. Absolute genius at right back. He stays. Mano Solomon, number 27, I've got him in the staying column. We haven't seen a lot of him, but I love that he's so quick and he will offer us a different option off the bench. And I can see in the medium to long term him staying as almost like one of those reserve backup players who can come on and change a game. 29, Pat Matassa. Need I say more? What a player. What an unbelievable young talent. Reminds me of a young Patrick Vieira. As he fills out, he's going to become a beast for Tottenham Hotspur. Rodrigo Bentancur, number 30. Again, top player. Lucky to have him. Got him at a steal from Juventus. Can't wait to see him when he gets up to proper full match fitness over the next few weeks, as well as when Maddison is coming back. It's going to be a great little tandem partnership that we haven't seen so far. 33, Ben Davis. He is in my keep pile. I think he can be our fourth choice centre-back. He's done well when he's played centre-back, and he's a great squad player to have, and of course he can fill in at left-back when needed. Alejo Valise, he's going to stay. He offers us something different at number 9 if we need a real kind of target man, and as he fills out too, don't forget he's still incredibly young, he will offer a different option. 37, Mickey van der Ven, and 38, Destiny Udogie. Unbelievable signings that we've made, and just show what a cunning operator Ange Postecoglu is in signing off the players that he knows fit perfectly for what he needs. The players that we've got on loan now, for me, in terms of outs, Reguilon, I don't think he'll play another game for the squad. Be interesting to see how he does at Brentford. Jed Spence, the same at Genoa, but I don't think he'll ever play for Tottenham again. Tanganga, now back down in Millwall. Again, I think he'll be out as soon as the club can get some kind of money for him. Tanguy and Ndombele, I'm not even going to talk about. I don't know if you've seen those pictures doing the rounds at the moment, but the guy is on a fast food diet. Ashley Phillips stays. He is doing well at Plymouth. I think he looks like a real talent, but it's going to take him a couple of years to really develop on the ball. He looks a little bit kind of shaky on the ball. His passing's good, but just looks like he can be easily judged and kind of transparently seen what he's going to do by opposition strikers. And finally, Joe Rodon. He's out, and I think he might leave very soon, because everything we hear is that Leeds are trying to put together a deal to buy him this January. He's on loan there. He's done so well. They want to sign him up for good. So that is my kind of medium to long-term Ange Ball squad. Are they going to stay, or are they going to go? Let me know in the comments what you think. Who do you want to stay? Who do you want to go? But as it comes to it, in total, 17 senior players stay, and for me, 16 leave. So with a 25-man squad needed each season, we're going to look for about 8 potential squad and first-team players to come in over the next few windows. Exciting stuff. Exciting time to be a Spurs fan. Let me know what you think in the comments. Come on, you Spurs.